They didn't give you love. They gave you distractions from the lack of it and dared you to call it manipulation. Let's call it what it is. That wasn't passion. That wasn't connection. That wasn't making up. That was suppression in disguise. That was shut up, take this, and forget your feelings. Your avoidant didn't need to talk, didn't need to explain, didn't need to own anything because they had a body and just enough timing to keep you guessing. They couldn't say, I love you, but they knew how to pin you down, make you feel like the only person on earth. Just long enough for you to forget that you haven't been seen in weeks. You'll bring up being ignored. Suddenly, their hands found your waist. You will say, you haven't heard a word I've said. They'll say, come here, let me show you. You wanted a conversation. They gave you a climax. And for a second, you let it slide because being touched like you mattered felt easier than proving you mattered. You thought, maybe this is how the avoidant shows love. Maybe this is how they say sorry. Maybe this is progress. Nah, it was a soft gag, wrapped in lust, tied with manipulation. They didn't hand you closure, they handed you a blindfold, said, trust me, then led you right back to silence. Every time your soul cried out, they handed your body a pacifier. Not love, just enough dopamine to keep you from waking up. Because here's the truth, that affection wasn't affection, it was anesthesia. It was emotional Novocaine, it was shh, feel this instead. And it worked. Because your body can't tell the difference between real love and survival tactics when your heart is running on empty. They didn't heal the wound, they gave you a morphine drip and convinced you the pain was gone just because you couldn't feel it. You stopped asking questions. You started confusing chemistry with care. You started thinking sex was sacred when really it was scripted. They didn't need to be present, they just needed to be seductive. They didn't need to change, they just needed to distract. They turned the bedroom into a battlefield, and every time you raised your voice, they raised the stakes. Your avoidant knew if they could get you weak in the knees, they could shut you up in the throat. You thought sex was how they made up, but it was just how they kept you stuck. Because the moment they kissed you like you mattered, you forgot how much you were begging to feel like you did. You thought it was bonding, it was bargaining. They was buying your silence with sheets, with touch, with rhythm. But the math never added up. The more they touched you, the less they saw you. The more they took, the less they gave. They weren't making love, they was laundering guilt, turning their emotional debt into moments of, see, it's not that bad. So let's break the spell. You weren't overreacting, you weren't too emotional, you were hungry for connection, and they served you sex as a substitute. You wanted healing, they gave you heat. But now, you're cold, you're quiet, you're full of touch, but starving for truth. And worst of all, you're still trying to figure out if maybe you were wrong for asking for more than a body from someone who claimed to care. Think about it.